Okay, it's 3:48 p.m. right now in Bangkok, Thailand, and we will now have the last session of the first AICT IATC conference in Southeast Asia, and we have with us now two lead discussants, but that doesn't mean that you cannot join in. So we would like to hear as many opinions and thoughts and reflections as possible. So whether you are in this room, whether you are on Facebook Live, or you are on Zoom right now, please join us. Okay, you can appear on the Zoom, or you can send a message on the Zoom chat box, or comment on our Facebook, and we will address them all. So the two discussants this afternoon, the first is the ex-president of IATC and the first Asian president of IATC, Cho Kim, and the second is our editor-in-chief of the journal Critical Stages, Savas Pasanidis. Okay, first Cho.
Okay, thank you. First, I think I have to say I'm very impressed by the slogan of this topic, which is always visible. The first AICT conference in Southeast Asia. Why am I so impressed by this? Because the first means not the last. Okay, so I'm expecting more and more important activities, including this conference, will be held here, because I just discovered this Thai section has a very strong and nice leader with 10 plus staff members who are also very cooperative, and it's a very rare case around the world. Everybody's working together, and I'm very impressed. So I'm expecting more activities in Thailand from now on. I just want to thank everybody who has been working in organizing this wonderful event, particularly my good friend Howitt for organizing this very difficult conference. Yeah. I'm just sorry because there are not many Asian participants. Although it is happening in Southeast Asia, we need to have more Asian participants, but that's not the case, and I'm sorry about that. About this organization, I can say the organizers generally have been very ambitious, because it's the first conference. The first means the most ambitious. So you try to do so many things together, and our conference has been composed of diversity in topics, diversity in presenters, and diversity of approaches, diversity in everything was here, and I'm very impressed by that too. And I am sure that you have already laid the groundwork for future events. From now on, we have to develop. We have to go one step forward. That means I wish you could have, conference or seminar or whatever with a focused theme. so that we can discuss together. We have too many topics all together, and everybody is an expert in that area other than anybody else. So it was kind of, one way, discourse. So I'd like to encourage you to have more focused events from now on, and I hope it will be happening very soon. I'm giving you a very hard time. And during our lunch, I talked with Hannah about what I felt sorry for her, presentation, because she was talking about hard time, people suffer from, particularly by censorship. And I was expecting that she would talk about what other my great hero in the world. And she didn't, and I asked her why. And she said, "Time was too short. I didn't have so much time to do it." But she wished she could have done it. My estimate, the poet gave each of us the most generous time to talk about, 20 minutes per person. That's a very long minutes for IATC. But still, our precious presenter, Hannah, fears that she doesn't have enough time because she has so many things to talk about. And I think that's the case with everybody else. Christina was talking about a very interesting topic, and it's a very good thing that every presenter has so much to talk about. But the problem is everybody feels it's not really long enough. But come to think of it, the topics we have been talking about are so broad and diverse. We talked about, history, methodology, and comparative studies, and gender, everything that is related to theater. So it is a very wide range of topics we had, and I want to emphasize just one more time to let us focus on some specific relevant topic from now on so that we can discuss more deeply. Discussion is our favorite thing. I want to say this time, and I'll give my mic to Savas, our editor-in-chief of Critical Stages. He is the person who wraps up the best in our association. So I'll let you do the rest of our mission.
Thank you, Yunchol. All's well that ends well. That's Shakespeare, but it applies to this conference as well. Paui, thank you so much, and the whole team of who assisted you to survive the stress and all the preparation of this conference. And we all know what it takes to put together a gathering like this with international guests. And I'm sure you'll have time to relax and just reflect on your success, because it was a successful first get together in Southeast Asia, and I congratulate you on that. And I'm sure our association is very proud. It's a great initiative. And also, I would like to stress that more than ever, theater has to pull its dynamics together in order to reposition itself in a world that is so threatening, intimidating, politically so dangerously conservative and ultra right, and theater must have a say. And in order to have a say, we theater people must get together more often to figure out where our field stands, what is the potential of our field. Uh, it's vital to reroute things, and as I said yesterday, theater has to rewrite its book of Genesis, because our reality is so radically different from what it was in the past that the old conventions, rules that we grew up with have to be reshuffled in order to provide theater the necessary dynamics in order to confront a technologically advanced world that, as the years go by, it will really affect theater very, very much. So theater people must be prepared to have this constructive dialogue with this new force of high technology and artificial intelligence and so on. And I have to say that the papers directly and indirectly, some directly, others indirectly, touch upon various aspects of the current state of theater affairs. The papers reflected on theater's efforts to go past certain givens, to cross borders, to rethink its relationship with nature and the city, to rethink its politics, to rethink its boundaries, to rethink its care ethics, its transdisciplinarity, and its soundscapes. All papers presented in this two-day conference shared with us their concerns, thoughts, apprehensions, and hopes. And I have to try to sum up some of the challenges I think theater will have to deal with in the years to come, as of tomorrow, in fact. I came up with kind of 6, 7, 8, whatever, but I just give one-liner for each. The first challenge, as I said, is technology. High technology will affect not only acting, directing, and set designing, but also writing and way of thinking. And it is interesting to see that in most newspaper, in most ads now from theater companies, they do not ask for actors or directors. They ask for people who know how to handle the web, marketing people. In other words, people with no theater culture at all. And these people will define the character of theater, whether we like it or not. The technicians who will enter theater as of tomorrow with an increased speed, artificial intelligence people who did not grow up with the theater background we did in order to enter the field will change the poetics of theater, inevitably, because they will not carry the essence of what we understand as theater and liveness. What is live theater? We always talk of live theater as the telling, the actual thing that differentiated theater from other art or whatever. But what is live? And for these people who will come from outside theater, and the ontology of theater will be for the first time threatened, if you want, or will be reconsidered by the presence of these newcomers. Okay, so that is the first challenge that theater will have to deal with, and in order to, and I say have to deal with because I don't consider these newcomers enemies. No, they can be a positive force, but theater has to be prepared there to, to sort of use them in a way that will advance theater a step further. Second challenge, theater has to redefine its relationship with the community. What is the meaning of the community? What does it mean? Does community imply communal feeling? Does community imply heterogeneity or homogeneity? Can we have a heterogeneous community? How does theater deal with the heterogeneous character of a community? So what is a community? It requires redefinition on all levels, ideological, political, ethnic, etc., etc. Third challenge, audiences. We rarely have proper data of audiences. Age, attendance, the taste, what they want. We have an kind of an imaginary audience in our head without facts. That's why most theater fails to cater to young generation people with first-rate works. Most of the work we give to either teenagers or very young people that poor works. In other words, we don't provide quality. So we have to theater people must start thinking who is out there. Who is out there? Because once the homogeneity of the theater house is lost, you have to wonder who is sitting down there to listen or watch us. We need this, and as I said yesterday, especially young people being so resistant to surprise, being so resistant to be surprised by the new, because theater cannot provide to these people the new in an old-fashioned way. High technology provides them with newness, so theater must find a way to revitalize the young people's imagination and desire to come to theater. Otherwise, why should they come to theater and not stay in front of their internet screen? Another challenge is participation. What do we mean by participation? Do we want, do we want participation or do we want an emancipated spectator? These are two different things. Rancia speaks about the emancipated spectator. That's a spectator who can think on his own. Do not touch him. Give him room to think, to be an individual. And the second question is, can this individual be also part of a collective? And if this individual is part of the collective, is still emancipated, so theater must figure out what kind of communication line you'd like to develop. Or what, I'm not saying all theater, but theater has to reflect on these issues because they are important. Also, another challenge would be dramaturgy of care. Theater and not only theater as theater thematics must concentrate, focus more on the dramaturgy of care, but also care must be shown by the people who run the theater, who hire people, who keep the theater running. So, and that is very, very important. Marketing and communication. Marketing has changed a lot. Marketing, or what we call postmodern marketing, is individual oriented. It caters to your desires, to your wishes. It is not the old style marketing. We market to anyone. No, there's no such thing. We market to anyone. It's very targeted. So marketing must show to people that they do not want to have them as customers, but as theater funds. In other words, theater or marketing people must go past the slogan of the market that says, teach people how to buy and not how to watch. That's the old style marketing policy. Priority is teach people how to watch, not how to buy. How to watch. So marketing has to redirect its ideology and also its target. And our times, especially with all this new generation now being active in the theater, theater must kind of refashion its communication strategies. Okay. Another thing that I consider important for theater is the change of leadership. Old style leadership with people in powerful positions for 50 years, 30 years, and inflexible, the old style company leaders are no longer is no longer a healthy tradition. What is now required is a very flexible leadership that does not exercise power, but exercises many leaderships within the company. In other words, decisions must not be taken from top and go down to bottom, but decisions must be taken from anywhere within the company. So the pluralism, flexibility, inclusivity, diversity, all these things must be part of the philosophy and the practice of the new leadership. And in order for this new leadership to succeed, must have a multicultural character, in order to be receptive to these new audiences, to these new communities, to these new realities. Otherwise, it will be in trouble. And of course, there is too much talk lately of the issue of mental health. The acting profession is a very tough profession. It's a very difficult profession, very demanding and unhealthy in many respects profession. So all leaderships must take care of the people who work for the company or who work for the theater, with counselors and special hours. In other words, to show more caring. That's what I said earlier. To care about their mental health. And of course, sustainability is another big issue that theater has to face in the years to come. And just to conclude, coming from Europe, as some of you, and we know what's happening in Europe lately, theater must stand up for democracy, period. There is no other alternative, otherwise it's not theater. Theater was born within a democratic city some 2,500 years ago. It came to life because there was democracy, because there were citizens who were voting freely. And in that respect, theater must maintain this tradition, standing up for democracy. Otherwise, it does not fulfill its traditional goal to educate and entertain, because these are the two goals of theater: to educate and entertain. And I think all these are my personal reflections as I try to look into the near future, 5-10 years down the line, and the kind of challenges that theater will call to face, and face with solid answers. I guess that's all from me, and I don't know, Pauit, I don't have anything else. I mean, there are so many things to say, but just summing up, I guess.
I mean, if there is
I'll say
anybody
goodbye
else,
as far as I'm concerned, and thank you very much.
anybody else would like to add anything? Yes, your reflection, your thoughts, or anything, Jean-Pierre? Would like to say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry because it's very difficult for me to express in English. So I can only say I was very, very interested because I understand a little, and I only thank you for your work. Very hard and very precious. Thank you.
Anybody else? Then I think we can finish early. So once again, on behalf of the organizers of this first AITC and IATC first conference in Southeast Asia, namely Department of Dramatic Arts, Faculty of Arts, Chulalongkorn University, and the IATC Thailand Center. We would like to thank each and every one of you for your effort of getting here, but not only that, and you're sharing with us many insights which are helpful, I think, for our colleagues here in Thailand and also in Southeast Asia, as well as students here. And there are not a lot of people watching online, and the whole content of this conference will later be on YouTube, so it can be used for future reference as well. We will divide it into sections, yeah, so people can watch in the topic that they are interested in. So I think the conference ends here, but our friendship doesn't, and our network, our strong network, our large and warm family, namely IATC, will continue. And thank you very much. And again, many thanks to members of the executive committee of IATC as well for the support and encouragement. And to respond to our ex-president, Yoon Cho Kim, we will do it again. Yes, we will. We will have another. Yeah, we will have another AITC event in Southeast Asia. Please, Wana, please join us.
Please, Pawit, let me to give our appreciation for your hard work and for your fantastic first Asian conference in IACT conference, and I am happy we work together, and I congratulate you and all your team for this wonderful work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wana. Okay, and yes. Oh, Mihi. Okay, please.
Hi, I'm Mihi Kim. This is my first time attending this conference. Actually, I attended the conference about 25 years ago in Nitra, Slovakia, as a young critic. So after 25 years, it's a new meeting for me, and I again admit that theater is not just one. Theater, we have theaters. So I could see the diversity of theater, and also actually these days in Korea, the young theater people, their concerns are pretty narrowed. So, if I exaggerate it, their concerns are just on two elements. So one is gender issue, and the other one is barrier-free or disability theater. So I think after studying the theater phenomenon in the world, I'm wondering how can I teach it to expand their views. That's my homework. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, let's wrap it up. Okay, once again, we say in Thai, ขอบคุณมากครับ. It means thank you very much for joining us here.
To you, Private, and your team.
And and all the members of IATC Thailand, and we have Alongkot here, who's the vice president, and we have Napatrapi, who's also our treasurer and photographer. So everybody has more than one task. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. That's the end.